Today I have for you a pull-out fancy fold. It features the Timeless Tropical stamp set and the die cuts, which are in the mini catalog. And both the stamp set and the die cuts will be going over to the new catalog. So no urgency on this set. And let me show you how this opens up. So when you open up, and look how I've got the cute little embellishment, the little trinket embellishments from the suite, some little die cuts from the suite. It says, "May your birthday be memorable." And so when you open it up, pull out, and you've got your message on the inside as well. So this is what we're going to be creating today. I will have the PDF tutorial popped up on the comment section of this video once we're done. So if you like this pull-out fancy fold, you're going to get a chance to just click download and get the measurements to recreate a project just like this on your own. You can get the make and takes for today's project, plus one of the thank you cards that I just showed you from the laser cut, mailed directly to you when you place an order using the hostess code. And I think I placed the hostess code right at the top of this video. Place your order by Tuesday at 9 to get the make and takes and that thank you card. So let me get you started. Again, we're going to be using the Timeless Tropical stamp set. It's one of the nice sets that includes the sentiments, includes some bolder images, beautiful flowers, the palm trees, the smaller flowers, those little Hawaiian flowers. What are the names of those Hawaiian flowers? I know somebody's gonna be able to tell me. We've got the leaves, die cuts available for some of these images and more in the coordinating dies. So this project also features the layering circles die cuts. So those have retired and they are actually all sold out as well. The good news is Stampin' Up! Is going to give us some new layering circles in the new catalog. Not sure if the dimensions are going to be the same, but at least you will have those tools available for you as well. So layering circles, the dies that coordinate with the stamp set, and let's see the inks I'm going to be using today. I'm going to use the soft suede, and I'm using both the pad and the marker, and I'll show you why I'm using the marker as well. I'm using a stamping spot of the Pear Pizzazz, and I'll show you why I'm using that in just a second. All right. There are trinkets available in this suite, so I pulled one of the cute brassy trinkets from the suite to embellish the card. All right, so that's what we're going to need to make the project. Again, the PDF tutorial is going to be listed for you, so you don't have to note the dimensions. It'll all be listed for you. So let me put that aside. I'm going to hold on to that and start with our projects, and I'll tell you what we're using here. Let's see, hopefully everything comes out. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with the standard size card base. So when I say standard size, I just took one sheet. It's the 8.5, and I cut it vertically at 5.5. That's going to be the base of our card. I also scored it at 4 1/4, so it's right down the center. We're going to need one Whisper White card, and this is not the heavyweight. This is the layering weight. It measures 8 inches by 5 1/4. This one I'm going to be scoring at 2 inches and again at 4 inches. And I haven't pre-scored that for you, so hopefully I have my scoring tool available nearby. I pre-cut some of the designer series paper with that cute little paneled wagon and the little surfboards. Really cute. Love the colors. It's like Pear Pizzazz and Pool Party, Early Espresso. Not sure if that's Calypso Coral. I'm also going to need a frame that I created, and I created the frame by layering those circles, and I think it's a 3.5 inch. Let me do a quick check on the measurements for you. So let's see, this circle is about 3 inches. And then the inside circle is about 2 5/8. So to create the frame, I just layered them over my cardstock, cranked it through the die cutting machine, and I got a cute little frame out of that. We're also going to need 1 circle of a soft sea foam. This circle measures, let's see, about 2 1/2. And 1 last circle, Whisper White circle that measures just under 2 1/4. So those are our supplies we're going to be needing for our card. I did pre-cut some of it. I'm going to show you how I created the front panel. I also used a little bit of scrap of old olive. I wanted to get some die cuts from the coordinating die cut set. I have a couple of leaves, and I have pre-stamped and pre-cut a couple of the little pineapples that are in the suite as well. And it looks like I've got 1 more piece of designer series paper. This one measures 1 7/8, so just under 2 inches by 5 1/4. And what I like, of course, about the designer series paper, both sides are really pretty. You could choose whichever side you like for your card. I chose just the side, it looks like pool party to me. That's the side I chose to use. So let's get started. I'm gonna start you off with the card base. And so I need my soft suede and my pattern paper. And I'm gonna start by adhering my glue here. And I'm just gonna use a tiny bit. I've got messages coming through. I thought I put it on airplane mode, yet the messages are still coming through, and I even put it on do not disturb, and still I have those text messages coming through. So with the liquid glue, remember it's dot, dot, not a lot. You do not want it to get messy, and of course, do you see what I did? I almost had that upside down. So I'm just gonna place that so I have like a 1/8 inch border all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. I'm going to grab my bone folder. Hopefully I have one handy. And let's see. And I'm just going to burnish that on. And before I fold that, I'm going to go ahead and cut that window in using the larger circle. I think that was 2 5/8. And I'm going to cut right in the center, about an inch from the top and equal distance from the sides. I'm going to bring in my big shot, crank that through, and let's see. I've got my magnetic platform on. And because the magnetic platform sometimes wants to be the boss, you just want to make sure that that die does not travel where you don't want it to go. So quick crank through the machine. Whoops. Let me line that up so it doesn't get crooked. There we go. And when I pop that out, I've got a nice window there. And look at that, that could actually be used on another portion of the card. Thank you, Barb, that's the hibiscus. The big flower, but the smaller one is it the plumeria? I know I like those smaller ones as well. So there we go, we've got that hole right in the center of our card. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my bone folder, which quickly disappeared. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that down. And the next thing I'm going to do is take that white, Whisper White cardstock that measures 8 by 5 1/4. And this one is going to get scored So I'm going to bring in my score tool. And I'm going to score the first one at 2 inches. Remembering to push back my cutting blade. I don't want to cut, I just want to score. I'm going to push that up. I'm going to lift and I'm going to push over to 4 inches. And again, and I'm done with my scoring. All right, now I'm ready to actually fold that over, and let's see, this is going to go this way, and I'm going to close that way, and it's going to be a Z fold, so the other one's going to fold back. This is the inside of the card, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp the image right inside here that I did, and I use the palm trees. There we go. And remember I said I was using soft suede, the marker. I'm going to use the brush tip to color in the trunks of my palm trees. And I'm going to use the ink spot to add the color for the palm fronds. So really easy to do that way. When you have one image but you want to use 2 colors, take out your markers. And I would not use Stampin' Blends. I would use the Stampin' Write markers. Remember, those Stampin' Blends are alcohol based. They're going to dry out quickly. The Stampin' Write marker, gosh, when I first started stamping, I remember we would color directly onto the rubber and then give that rubber a big huff so that it would stay nice and damp. I'm going to add my Pear Pizzazz color. That way I get my green and soft suede trees. Give it the huff and go ahead and ink down. Nice and sturdy. Let's see if I can push that up a little bit for you. There you go. There's my palm trees. I'm not going to do my sentiment just yet. I am, however, going to put that inside panel. So skip over to that 2-inch panel in the center. That's where I want my DSP to go, and I'm thinking, I don't know, it's such a toss-up. Those flowers are beautiful. I think I'm going to go with the flowers. I guess you could choose, if you were giving this card to a man, you might want to go with the pool party side. A woman might like those pretty hibiscus flowers. So, and again, you are noticing I'm using the liquid glue. Not a lot, but I do want it to stick. And I'm going to put it just inside that score line, between the 2 score lines actually, and that's the reason why we did it at 1 7/8. It's just a tiny bit smaller than that middle panel. So again, I'm going to go ahead and burnish that on. And I also want to add a couple of pineapples over on this side. Let's see if I've got my stamp. And for that I am using, whoops, wrong stamp. For that I am using the little pineapple. So one of the cool things about this die set is there is a giant pineapple die. There's not a stamp for it, but there is a die for it. It makes a beautiful, huge pineapple that can just be the focal point of your card. So I'm going to stamp my pineapple twice. And there you go. Happy with that. So I'm going to put that aside. Still going to use my soft suede, so I'll put that aside. I am ready to place this right inside the back panel, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. I'm going to see if I've got some snail to make it really easy. So in my adhesive arsenal, I always have snail, I have the multi-purpose liquid glue, I have glue dots, Stampin' Dimensionals, tear and tape. Every adhesive has its own job, so I like to have all of them handy nearby. My favorite to use for flat adhesive is the Tombow. It's really economical, and it's so forgiving. When you don't land exactly where you want to, you usually have a little bit of time to slide it over. So there we go. There's our middle panel. We are now going to create our pop-up, our pull-out center. So I'm going to bring in those elements. I will need my frame, my soft sea foam to mount, and then I'm going to need my whisper white circle. That's where I'm going to put my sentiment, which is, may your birthday be memorable. So I'm stamping this in soft suede, and I'm going to stamp mostly in the center. And at this point, I'm not too worried if it's straight, because of course it's a circle. I can always rotate it if I didn't get it right spot straight. There you go. And I'm gonna layer that onto the soft sea foam. And again, I can just use the snail to do it really quickly. There we go. Right in the center, you have a little bit of a border all the way around, about 1/8 of an inch. So now the next thing I'm going to want to do, oops, I forgot I have not put my frame on yet. So let me show you how I did that. I just add that little scallop frame, adds a nice finishing touch to the card. I really like that. It's worth the extra effort. So I'm going to use, again, the liquid glue, and I'm just going to put tiny bits of glue on these little scallops. Hopefully my glue bottle is under control. And I think I say this often, your glue bottle actually has 2 tips to it. It's got this small pointy tip, perfect for small areas, and then on the opposite side it has a wider tip for larger surfaces that you need to spread your glue around. And the tool itself acts like a brush, so it's easy to distribute all the liquid glue all over that larger frame. So here's what I meant about that liquid glue being forgiving. You can slide it into position. There we go. I'm going to press down. Now I've got my perfect circle frame there. I like the way my card is coming together. What do you think? I think I do like that hibiscus side with the pretty pineapples. Brings in more color that way. So now I'm going to push this closed and do that. And here's where things get a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and insert my circle. And now is where I want to be concerned with whether or not this is straight. So if you've got it askew, just go ahead and take the time to align that a little bit nicer. It kind of looks straight for me. Now I'm going to hold that down, pop it up, and I'm still going to hold it into position because I only want to put adhesive on half of it. So what I do is flip it over. Here's my little tip. I don't even use a pencil. I'm just going to use my bone folder and make a small indentation. And this is the side I'm going to put my snail on. So if you don't have that guide, and I speak from experience, I have a tendency to put more glue than is needed, and then my card will be shut. So there we go. I'm going to put it right in there in the middle, make sure it's lined up, and we've got that ready to go. Watch this. It's coming along fairly nicely. I like that. So it's May Your Birthday Be Memorable. On the inside, we're going to have a greeting as well. So I like to just open that up. I have my nice frame here. That's where I want my inside sentiment to land. So, oops, put my soft suede ink away too quickly. I need that. The inside says, rest and relax, you deserve it. And I'm using the frame. I'm going to center that out, and here I do want it to be straight, so take a little bit of time. Hopefully you can see. Yikes. It's a little bit hard when I'm standing over the camera. So there we go. Rest and relax, you deserve it. when we close it up, there you go. We're gonna open it. May your birthday be memorable, right behind, rest and relax. And I'm just gonna finish off the front of the card. So I'm going to take those little die cuts that I pre-stamped and cut. I've got a pineapple. I have one of those nice textured leaves. And what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna add a glue dot to get it onto the front here. Remember I said I had all the adhesives handy. How I use my glue dots, I never touch the dot, I just leave it right on the runner. Go ahead and attach that. When I pull it off, I wanna make sure I'm getting the dot, and you can kind of see it's on the back there. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my card front. Gonna push that there, and I'm gonna layer on my little pineapple. So fun. Makes me think of Hawaii. What do you think, Dixie? I love the pineapple. I love the palm trees and the paneled, the vintage style wagons. There we go. And my one finishing touch. These are so sweet. These are the tropical Oasis trinkets. So we have looks like a hibiscus probably. We've got a little ukulele, and we have a pineapple, and we have one of those huge leaves. So really cute assortment, and these are still available. Not sure if they're carrying over. Actually, I do not believe that they are carrying over. So if you like these that coordinate with the Tropical Oasis suite, you are going to want to get those ordered soon. So let's see, I don't know which, the last one was that big leaf. I love that ukulele too, it's so cute. And I like the little pineapple. I'm gonna go with the, I don't know, is that the hibiscus? I'm gonna add that to it. And again, the trinkets I'm going to adhere with glue dots. So I like to put a couple usually. They're a little bit heavy. Couple of glue dots, and glue dots usually just grab onto anything near. So I'm gonna go ahead and press that on there. And voila, there's my card for the day. May your birthday be memorable. Rest and relax. You deserve it. There's our card. Of course, you can finish off your envelope by coordinating, get a piece of that pattern paper and attach it to the flap of your envelope. So there's one version. I do have a couple others to share with you. So I tried out a couple of different styles, a couple of different feels to this same pull-out fancy fold card. So here's our sailing home suite. Beautiful paper with the compass and nice blues, the night of navy blue. Again, we have trinkets, and I think these trinkets are on sale, so on the last chance. I know that the twine that coordinates with this suite is really discounted, so it's a really good deal right now. So this would be perfect for maybe a retirement, maybe for a graduation, maybe for moving on to a new job. It says congrats, and when I pull out, it's set sail in the direction of your dreams. So I used the same coordinating paper with the pretty stripes, that light tower, and pretty clean and basic and nice, kind of like for males that way. I know sometimes we struggle for manly cards, so that would be a good example to do. So we also, and again, that was with the Sailing Home suite. So here's another favorite. This is with the help of Over the Moon is on the last chance list. And I love this cute little stamp set. I'm going to try and bring you in so there's not a glare here. Over the Moon for you. Love the cows. A little bit of grassy patch, the little thinking with the heart. You're utterly fantastic. Party till the cows come home. Cows it going. Dream big. And these beautiful cows, one with the little daisy and the moon. So here's what I created with this outgoing set. Again, one of my favorites. So Dream Big is from the stamp set. This paper is from the Occasions catalog. It's from the Gulf Suite. I use the grays, a lot of pretty tones of gray in it, with the Daffodil Delight, that nice cow that's looking right at you. Pretty Daisies, these were hand snipped from this little image here. So, and I added the grassy bits, the nice red boots. So those aren't red boots, those are Poppy Parade boots. Daffodil Delight flower, when you open it up, it's party till the cows come home. I love this card, too cute. So there I've got my 3 examples.